Hi, this is Phil Stewart from Hybrid Me doing a short video today on the software options for SkyTrak. If you've looked at any of my previous videos, you'll be aware that I founded Hybrid Me to be a company that can help people build golf simulators on a budget and not have to spend tens of thousands of pounds or dollars in order to actually build a golf simulator when it's possible to do it for far less. Now, of course, there's different components depending on how much money you've got and what your kind of setup is, but one of the most important components is the SkyTrak launch monitor itself. It's probably the only launch monitor available at that kind of entry-level price point, roughly £2,000, I'll talk about that shortly, that would enable people to get accurate data, to be able to practice and hone their game, but also to be able to integrate with third-party software so that you can actually play some of the best courses around the world or recreations of those courses, and to be able to take part in things like online tours if you're also competitive. I'll also be talking about the GC2 later because obviously depending on budgets there's different options for simulation. And I'll be showing you 4 different software components today. I'll be talking about the SkyTrak range itself that comes bundled with the SkyTrak package. I'll then be talking about a budget alternative should you not have the money for a gaming PC or perhaps the full simulator enclosure and you just want to hit into a practice net using an iPad or an iPhone to be able to see your data and maybe play some courses. So I'll be showing you the WGT, the World Golf Tour software, and then I'll be talking about the kind of more in-depth simulator options for you where you do need a gaming PC. You'll probably want the immersive experience of the simulator, and I'll be comparing the Golf Club and Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf. Now, I've done a video a couple of years back where I do review both of those and the online tours. I'm a huge advocate of Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf, and one of the things that have changed since I did that video is that TrackMan acquired Perfect Parallel, who are the developers of Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf, and that means that for new SkyTraks, unfortunately, from my perspective, Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf is no longer an option. You're not able to get a new subscription of JNPG with new SkyTrak purchases. Now, you can still find used SkyTrak sales where there is an active subscription, and those will continue to be allowed to be renewed. So if you're interested in that, head over to onlinegolftour.net, register on the forum. That will get you access to the Discord chat group and all of the people that are on the Online Golf Tour, including myself, and we'll be able to put you in touch with people who are selling SkyTraks with active Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf subscriptions. The reason they're becoming available is that often people are just using a SkyTrak to begin with to test how they get on with simulator usage, and if they get addicted to it like I am, they may then suddenly realise, actually, I'm willing to spend a bit extra to get a GC2, which is probably the de facto standard, in my opinion, for indoor golf simulation, and then the GC2 can interface with Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf, third-party software, or of course the Foresight Sports software itself. But a lot of people then are realising, actually, they would like to upgrade from the SkyTrak to GC2 because it does give that more reliable experience. It's a little bit more accurate, and you get less no-reads or misreads. And some people report that the SkyTrak actually isn't showing the true ball speed when you're at high speeds above 140 miles an hour. I certainly find it harder to hit the long drives on the SkyTrak than I do on the GC2. So there may be some tweaking there that people are looking to make that upgrade. So without wasting too much more time, what I'm showing you here is the UK Sky Golf website. It just gives you an indication of the packages that are available for SkyTrak. There are sometimes promotions run, particularly around major events, and certainly on my website, www.hybridme.co.uk, I will be showing when the SkyTrak promotions are available and what kind of code to use. If you are looking at buying a SkyTrak, and if my videos are useful and helping you in that decision, please consider using my affiliate code, which is HybridMe, all one word, HYBRIDME. And when you purchase a SkyTrak or a SkyTrak package through Sky Golf, there's a coupon section, and if you could please enter that code and apply that, it means that I would get recognised for sales. And of course, that's only if you find these videos useful and valuable in your decision. At an entry level for about just over £2,000, £2,139, you can get a package that includes the protective case, the SkyTrak itself, and a game improvement plan. And this gives you access to the SkyTrak app, which I'll be showing you in just a moment. If you wanted to, you could spend around an extra £100 or £90, and that would get you access to the WGT Play and Improve plan. That gives you a full-featured WGT app, which again I will be showing you shortly. The other options are where you need to decide, do you wish to pay extra money to then get Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf, which is no longer available, but as I say, can be found used, or other options like E6 Connect, or the Golf Club, TGC. Now, I'm not showing E6 Connect. One, I don't have a license for it and my demo has expired. Secondly, in my opinion, it is a lot more money for the limited courses you get. So the Golf Club is a bit of software that gives you access to a lot of courses. I'll show you the pros and cons of that, but I encourage you to go back and have a look at the various reviews on the web. This isn't an in-depth review of all of these products. Effectively, it's just going to give you a glimpse of what they look like and what are the pros and cons. So without further ado, I will start by showing you the SkyTrak app. So if I run SkyTrak, SkyTrak can be run on a phone or an iPad if you wish to. Alternatively, it could be a PC application, which in this instance is what I'm doing. I will turn on my SkyTrak here. Now, I've not calibrated it to make sure it's lined up, so this isn't about the accuracy and do I hit one right and it goes left. I'm just going to be hitting some shots and giving you an example of how they show up and what the software looks like. So once the SkyTrak is powered up, I think I've got it running in networking mode. So with a bit of luck, it will look for the connection, which it has. Check the license to make sure that I'm licensed, and in I go. First thing I'm going to do is go to practice. A lot of people buying a SkyTrak just want to be able to swing a club and see the results of their shots and work on their game. And this is exactly where you do that. You select your club in the middle of the screen. This is if you want to go back and be able to analyse the data. Place your ball roughly on the dot. From my experience, placing it slightly in front of the dot is good for high lofted wedges, slightly behind the dot is good for a driver and 3-wood. Hit a few shots, that felt pretty good. As I said, I don't know how well it's lined up. Oh, it felt pretty good, I don't think I'll probably ever hit one better, to be honest. This is a 7-iron. I'd like to think I can replicate that, I probably can't. Slightly pulled, bit of draw as well. I'll hit one more 7-iron and then a 6-iron just so you can kind of see what the results look like. I got hold of that one. Oh, well, hitting well today. Very happy with those. And you could then say, okay, I'm going to hit another club. And a 6-iron. So not very exciting bit, I'm afraid, of the video. I hope there is an exciting bit at some point. Oh, thinned it low and away, I suspect. Come on, well, don't know. Maybe that's what I did. And I can then go in and look at the data. Shot history, you'll see I've got the 7-irons there, shots. You could average them. If there's one that I didn't think I quite hit right, like that last one, I might get rid of it and hit a few more. You would be able to go into shot plotting, that's not actually showing. I must confess, I've not tested this, so I'm not too sure. You can export it to a spreadsheet. You can go into the flight optimizer. Oh, sorry about that. You can go into the shot optimizer if you have a SkyPro where you want to get some club information integrated with the club data, with the ball data. And I've shown a video about SkyPro also a few months back. Then you could go in, you could look at further information, analyse various things and bits and pieces. So if you're really working on a game, you just want to work on your numbers, that's ideal. SkyTrak app also provides you with the ability to do some kind of challenges. Things like closest to the pin or target practice again. I think these are a little bit limited in their appeal, but they let you at least work on your game a bit. You can have friends around and have a multiplayer session, but for this, I'm just going to hit some shots. I would say an 8-iron should be about right for the 150 if I don't smash it too hard. Bit pulled maybe. Yeah, thought so. When I'm rushing, I tend to drop my shoulder and pull it left. So, not so good. You get 3 attempts, so I'll hit one more. That's a cleaner shot. Oh, let's not attempt to beat that. So you get an idea. A few little challenges. You can do a gapping session, so you can go through and gap your bag. One of the other areas that's quite nice is that you can also do a skills challenge or skills assessment. Just waiting for the SkyTrak license to confirm. So there may be a better way of coming back and forth. Apologies. As I say, I'm not intending to show how best to use this. It's just to give you an example. You can select a target with each of your clubs. How many times you want to hit a shot. I'll just go for 3. Oh, I don't think I clicked on the right thing. Anyhow, for this one it starts with a 60. So I'd get my 60-degree wedge. And I'd fat it. Fat it like that. It's not that bad, but it's just a little chunky. And so on, and then you'd be hitting the 80 yard, the 70 yard, 80 yard, and working your way through your targets, and it will be giving you a score up there, as you can see around here, how you do. So that gives you a feel for what you kind of get with the SkyTrak, and so a lot of people just start with that and it'll be just fine. I'm not really one for practice, so I personally would want something that gives me a little bit more, more fun. An opportunity to kind of play some courses and try some new things out. So at this point I'm going to show you World Golf Tour, or WGT Golf. I've always assumed it stands for World Golf Tour. I'm just going to log into the app. So this is an app downloaded off the App Store. I will share my screen now. Or in a second. Excellent. This effectively is just me going into WGT. In the bottom right corner, you've got the Play WGT with SkyTrak. I've set the SkyTrak up into networking mode, and again, there are various guides how to do this. I can do a video if people would like any help. It's validating the license. I use a touchscreen monitor, so you're going to see me press the touchscreen quite a few times when I need to be using the phone. So apologies when I do that. It's now connecting to the SkyTrak. And effectively, this gives you the ability to play some courses around the world. With the basic license, you get the ability, I think, to do a closest to the pin, or certainly a practice of some kind. When you pay for the full license, this is the extra £90 one, then you get the ability to go in and play some tournaments on a monthly basis or some courses. I'll start by just showing, there we go, I've touched the touchscreen monitor immediately. I'll start by just showing a couple of courses. Pebble Beach is a nice one, so why not? Let's start there. Let's play the back 9 where we start getting the water involved. You can either play a ranked back 9, so this is where the settings are locked down and it means you'll end up in a leaderboard at the end, or you can go into practice and you can select which tees, what hole location, green speed, and actually play a few holes. For the sake of this, I'll just do ranked. I'm not going to spend too long on it because people won't want to. There's some funny distortion on the noises, the sounds that come through. That's because of the airplay. It shows you the info of the hole, strong tee shot, where you want to be. I must admit, I do like playing Pebble Beach. If you click on the map on the left, it gives you the ability to flick the camera around. You can kind of click and think, okay, there's my target, 250 yards. I'm not sure I'm going to get there, but we will give it a good go. So I wasn't going to tee up. Well, don't wait for speed. I'll try and hit 3 when I hit these awfully earlier. So let's see how we do. That's not bad. And we're off. Hold a bit left. Decent enough hit though. Should be 222 yards. Not brilliant because I'm in the rough, but it's okay. Leaves me 185. There's a rough penalty down there. Quite a severe one, so I'm not going to be able to get there. Oh, stop clicking on the monitor. So I will end up aiming a bit more left and expecting to leave myself a little bit of a chip on. Oh, very thin. This is dangerous. Thin and right. That went exactly where it deserved to go. Into the brush. How far down that hill am I? That was a horrible shot. So 15-yard wedge up. But you know, the good thing is you're playing a course, you're playing some of the holes you've seen on television, and that's the appeal of the simulator to me. Let me try and hit 20 yards up, see what happens. Oh, I must admit, from that camera angle, I'm not really too sure what happened there. 25 yards. Chip it on. You get the choice of do you wish to putt or not. So that you can see what the putting looks like. I'll say yes. But you could have just accepted the strokes it gives you, and I think there's a little bit of a randomizer that it might take you one shot, it might take you two. So we've got a left to right, 17.6 feet. I'm just going to hit a wedge rather than a putter. That's way short, but it gives you an idea of what will happen. On it goes. And at this point, I'll take whatever putts. Hopefully it'll give me a one putt, and I'll take it, or give me even better. I did exactly with one shot that I wasn't too sure what happened and where it was. So I'm just going to play one more hole so you get a feel for what's going on. So again, I'll have a look at the fairway, 220 down the middle, that's fine. Let me tee this one up just so you can see how it works. I'll put it just behind the laser dots. And really high, horrible connection. Probably no more than about 200 yards because I right off the top of the club of it. Yep, 200.
That's a huge drive.
Huge drive. Well, it wasn't. I know that for a fact. 147. It should be a nice, nice soft 8-iron. And slicey, so that's missing the green right. Didn't really get hold of it. In the rough. Oh, bit of a tricky one here. So 10 yards, just got to pop it up. How did I hit it? Oh, it's running off the green. Not good. So I must admit, I wouldn't really know what the physics, if this is good or bad. That's doffed, slightly doffed, but it's on the green. There we go, we'll take that. So 2 holes played rather abysmally, but it gives you an idea of what it looks like. The other things you can do with WGT, I'm not sure how to make these videos quicker. I intended to make them a bit quicker. I could obviously play better. What you can do is end the round, and there are nice closest to the pin competitions that you can enter as well. So when it goes back to the main menu, if I go through, and then I will show the golf club shortly, go back into SkyTrak tournaments or courses, you can practice closest to the pin. SkyTrak look to be running monthly competitions. Let's do a closest to the pin. Why not do, let's do St Andrews. I don't know what holes they'll play. And I'll sign up here. As long as you've got an account that you've registered for, I can then go in and play now, and it should put me on a leaderboard. Again, I'm not going to play enough holes to do it, but you can get the info before the tee. For speed, I don't want that anymore. And I'm just going to look at the target. So 148. As I've said again and again, it's about, oh, it's wind behind. 15 mile an hour wind behind, and a little bit in from the left. So I will be aiming this towards the left edge now and hit a 9-iron instead. Hopefully the wind's going to take that, which it isn't. it might. Well, there we go. Not too bad. Still going. Well, it made the green, so progress from what I was doing a minute ago. And again, we've now got a random hole, so it's 46 yarder. For me, that's a 60 degree. I'll land it about 40. Felt pretty good. Didn't read it. Was that because it? Don't know if that was just a no read or if it wasn't ready. That's not so good. And there's one of the frustrations of using something with no reads. You hit one that you think is great, and then you hit one that's not, and it's the one that's not that's picked up. One more hole, 146. And with the courses you can play into the wind this time, so this won't get far enough, I don't think, but I'll still hit it. Really have a smash at this. Oh, can't hit that much better. A little bit pulled left, I think. But it was hit nicely. Oh, that'll do. I keep saying left, it's actually the launch angle with it going up there that I think it's left. So, you can play the competitions, you can do whatever else. I think that's pretty neat for a phone application. And if I didn't want to spend the extra money on gaming PCs or didn't have it available, or if I was just hitting into a net, I'd be seriously considering WGT as the solution. If I want to just practice, then I'll be using the SkyTrak app itself. Probably more things I could show you, but that will do at this point. So now I'm going to move on to what do you do next? So you are keen to actually play courses, take part in a world tour, earn world ranking points, or play a Ryder Cup like we just did on OGT. So at this point, you can be considering the other packages, which are E6 Connect, Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf, and the Golf Club. As I mentioned, I'm a huge fan of Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf and Online Golf Tour, but for SkyTrak and new SkyTraks, it's not available anymore. So what I will show you instead is the Golf Club software. I'm now going to be moving over to the GC2. Because I don't have the license for my SkyTrak. I don't know the exact price at this moment in time. I think with offers it might be around £700 for a one-off license for the Golf Club. Look various places for reviews. Most of the comments about it are over at golfsimulatorforum.com. Don't go there to look for any information about Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf, because if you post about Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf, it gets taken off of the forum, and many users, like myself, are banned because, well, I won't get into that, because it's not, you're not meant to post your opinion about Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf, is my belief. So, if you want information about Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf, come over to onlinegolftour.net. Now, loading the Golf Club is a very slick bit of software. It's nice. There's lots of courses out there. It claims to be about 140 to 160,000. That's not true, because there are variants of the similar courses, the same courses. Every time they move a pin position or a tee position, a new version of the course has to be created. That's one of the limitations of the software. On the other hand, there is a tour that's run. There's weekly competitions, weekly virtual prize money given out, world rankings, those kinds of things. And it's how I got started with golf simulation. I think it's a great option if you do want to play courses around the world. I'm just going to start a round. I will load up Pebble so you can actually see what it looks like. So when I type in Pebble Beach, you're going to see there are lots and lots of courses for Pebble Beach. Now, some of these will be rubbish creations, for want of a better phrase. Some will be very good. There's different pin positions, different tee position, different lengths. And to be honest, you don't really know which ones are good and which ones are bad. So one of the ways of doing it is that the ones that are used in the tour is have the name Pro Tee written in them. And they're generally set up for a shorter distance. I may have gone past that one there, sorry. And it generally means they're slightly more playable distance and a little bit of a confirmation over the quality. You can see most people play it. So give that one a go. When I show you Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf, you'll see why I believe it's better, in the fact that you can customise the pins, the tees, the skip, the stimp, and you're not reliant upon people doing that here. I should add, you can customise the stimp within the setting for the game, not for the actual course. When I click on that, it's going to start downloading it. I'm using a 4G signal, so it's taking a little bit to load up the course. That's what we're going to play. And there's some limited game modes. Again, this isn't about reviewing it. You can't do scrambles here with online tournaments. I'm not aware of closest to the pin competitions or long drive competitions being run on a weekly basis like happens over onlinegolftour.net. I'll tee off there. There are some nice things though. You get ghost balls, which are other players you're playing against. You can see their shots going.
Hello there and welcome to the golf club. My name's John.
Like this.
And we're starting off with a par 4. Let's see what we can do.
You can get a view of where you're heading to, 250 flat bunker. You can press Q to get the kind of scout cam. You aim, move in the kind of cursor. I'm just going to try and hit one over there. Just a minute, that last right was horrendous, so we'll see how we get on. That's a better hit than the left. Is it?
It's looking good.
Don't want to fade on it, purely by chance. So, here we go, 75 to go. You can have a quick look at the contours. And this is the next level of immersive nature that, you know, moving beyond what you saw with WGT, you can see the courses, they feel a bit more 3D. Could be long, because I couldn't be bothered to get the correct wedge. There's a lesson. I hit my 84 my 54 instead of the 60. 13 yards, bit right to left. Oh, that's going to be trouble. Go. Oh, not bad. We'll take a gimme there. No, we won't. You can turn gimmies on, and in the tour they're on. For this, it looks like I'm going to have to knock this one in.
Okay, moving along.
And again, it's just to give you a feel for what it looks
Great
like.
start to the round. You're at 1
I'm
under.
going to show you Pebble Beach on Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf, so you can kind of compare the two. Again, this one's just a drive up the middle. Not left, that left. Way left. One of the benefits of simulator play is you can still hit out the rough on a nice lie. 240, but I'm not getting up there. I'll have a quick look, see is there any danger. Not massive danger, but because of that tree, I aim a bit right. There's a heavy rough penalty you can see in the top right, so I'm not going to get there. But we'll give it a good hit. And we'll chip on. Again, I'm trying to be as quick as possible so you actually get to see enough. 45. Maybe short. Yeah, rubbish. Not one of my better. There is a rough penalty, a bunker penalty, so you need to hit the ball a bit harder. That's better.
Nice job out of that beach.
Again, it's going to ask me to tap in.
Alright, let's see how these numbers add up.
So, lots of customization, like I say, lots of courses out there.
And
The
1
tour
under
was
is
run
your
over
adjusted
Golf
score
Simulator
after that
4.
one.
I think it's a good option. I think if you can find the budget to go to a GC2, which you can still use with Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf, then that's something you may want to do at kind of next level. And maybe just start with the World Golf Tour and see where you go. But if you are going with a new SkyTrak and you want to play courses around the world, then I think the Golf Club is a great choice for you. So at this point, I'm now going to move on and show you Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf, which, you know, is available still for GC2 and for FlightScope. And I will just get this running. It's within the Steam software. And anybody that's viewed my previous videos will have seen me playing this a lot. And so we just finished a Ryder Cup with America winning, unfortunately. Why is Steam not loaded? It is now. What is OBS wanting to do? That's recording, that's why. Okay, if we now go into here. Jacknick's Perfect Golf, you download and you buy the game. You then have to purchase the season pack for the simulator usage. And that's an annual price, and then you get access to all of the user-created courses if you go for the premium pack, which includes over 200 recreations of courses using LiDAR data, so you get the benefit of having the kind of radar-based data and slopes on the courses, as opposed to a lot of the courses over at TGC that are user-created, but they're not based on real-life slopes. So I'll quickly connect the launch monitor. And I will, for the sake of this, show you Pebble Beach. The courses look better. When you get round by the coastline, it looks great, but I will just start by showing the first couple of holes. So as mentioned, what thing you can do here is that you can have multiple tees. So I could be playing off of the championship tees, my children could be playing off the front tees, not something you can do in TGC. Anyhow, look at my previous review if you're interested in comparing the two. And feel free to ask me any questions and I'll let you know my opinion of which look better and why. And you can customise the fairway hardness, the green hardness, and just get on and play. Now the tour over at OGT, and so a lot of the value I get from this game is actually the competition, the stats that are available on the web, and it's the work that onlinegolftour.net do. So check those guys out if you're interested. I also like the use of this with the touchscreen monitor, where I can just click around on the map or on the screen and it will aim me without having to use the kind of cursor keys. And again, you get all of the things that you had before, which is you can look at the green, you can have the floating cam. And it's a lot of people just prefer the look and feel of either this or the golf club. I'll play a couple of holes. And I'm over the back there. Not too bad for a line in, 118. The rough penalty is 9, 128. Yeah. This should be about right. A little bit fat, but it might actually work in my favour. Oh, look at that bounce. Hit one of the bounces in front and took off. Can't complain, I was trying to land it on the green and stop. Again, you can choose if you want to putt or not. So I'll enable putting so you can see it. A lot of people just prefer to hit the shots and it will automatically give you 2 or 3 shots depending how far you are. I didn't look at the stem, but again, it's the principle of. And then get down that hill. Oh, it's a good putt, that one. Oh, not bad. Not bad. I think I increased the gimme. I'll play a second hole again so you can see how it compares and contrasts to the golf club. I'm not showing E6, I may have said this already, E6 Connect. I don't have a license for it currently, and for the money, I think both of, well, certainly this option is a far superior experience. Touch left again. Hang on the edge, just about. Yes, beautiful. We will take that. Let's have a look up. Oh, I've got to get over that tree, that's fine. If I can really smash a hybrid, I can get over that tree and it can run on up. That's what we're going to try. Bounce, bounce. Bounce. Oh, pretty good there. You can tell I'm back in my homeland playing this. Much more comfortable. If you believe that, it's just the fact I hit a few bad shots in the middle. And for a nice eagle. Left, right, left. I'm taking my time on this now. 22, 34. Oh. Anyhow. You can set up loads of different game modes, skins mode, 2-3 player points, alternate shots, 2-man, 3-man scrambles, up to 8 people can play. Online multiplayer. The course involves people around the world. As you can tell, I'm very enthusiastic about this if you can get it. If you're a SkyTrak user thinking, you know what, should I consider upgrading to a GC2 and getting Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf? I think it's a worthwhile upgrade. If you're someone with limited budget, just wanting to get started, I think WGT is great with the SkyTrak app. If you happen to prefer the look and feel of the golf club, then go with it. It's an option. As I say, I enjoyed it and I started there before I found how good the tour was at Online Golf Tour and Jack Nicklaus Perfect Golf. I hope that's useful. I probably missed loads of stuff. I've tried to cram it a lot into this video. As I say, if you are purchasing a SkyTrak, please consider using my Hybrid Me coupon. It allows me to be recognised for some of the videos I do. Feel free to tell me what's good, what's bad, what you'd like me to do, if you would like me to review one of these bits of software in more detail. And thank you if you've watched it.